Monsters Inc. was one of Pixar's best works yet. It had a neat concept and charming moments. I was scared of it when I was a kid, but I will always have a soft spot for it. Actually, I personally believe that Luca has to be some of Pixar's best work, but we all have different opinions. But that's not what I am talking about. First, something that will be stuck in my head for years now. It was November 2nd, 2020, a year before Monsters Inc. 20th anniversary. I was viewing the Pixar website about their projects from 1995 to 2005. Not long after, I got a mail notification from Pixar. I opened up the email and it said, "Hello, Pixar fan from Australia. We'd like to show you an unreleased draft of the beginning of Monsters Inc., as we would rather not release it to the public. The person who made this was the same person who made the deleted draft of Woody's Nightmare from Toy Story 2, only he impersonating the random man. After you watch it, please do not screen it anywhere. Watch it at your own risk." I was confused but surprised. I just got another email from Pixar. The first time I got one was from them was when I was given a deleted draft of Woody's Nightmare from Toy Story 2. I downloaded the file and it was finally saved onto my laptop. Its file name was Monsters Inc. Opening Scene Beta.mov. An alternate draft of the beginning of Monsters Inc., huh? I thought to myself. I opened up the file, but before I played it, had a warning. This following deleted later change footage of Monsters Inc. you are about to see is not advised for the weak-hearted. Viewer discretion is advised. I got anxious after reading it. Here goes the freakiness again. The footage started with a shot of herself in a child's bedroom with toys placed on it. We heard the usual dialogue as heard in the final film. "Good night, sweetheart," said a woman's voice. "Good night, Mom," said a boy's voice. "Sleep tight, kiddo," said a man's voice. The light then switched off. It then panned down to the simulation boy sleeping in bed. Things were normal, but when the door creaked open, there was a silent growl coming from the simulation boy's closet. The boy looked around his room to see where the growling was coming from, and he saw a tentacle leaning on the door. However, something wasn't right. The tentacle arm was holding a hatchet. The boy gasped and set his eyes, bracing for a scare, but when he looked again, the tentacle was only his red jumper sleeve. The boy then went back to sleep. Then a shadow fell over him, and as that happened, the room then glowed dark red. "What the heck is going on?" I said to myself. This was why this was changed. When it panned under the bed, red glowing eyes opened, but there was blood pouring out of them. It then cut to a shot of the simulation boy sleeping. At that moment, Thaddeus Bile, one of the monsters in the movie, emerged from behind, and oh no, he looked berserk. He was all bloodstained. He was holding cleavers in both hands, and he was grinning with bloodstains on his teeth. The boy then turned around to see Bile, and he let out a loud, piercing, and blood-curdling scream. The scream was so loud I covered my ears. The scream lasted for 5 seconds until he stopped. As I went to play the video file again, I noticed blood on my palms. "Crap," I croaked. The boy's scream made my ears bleed even if I covered them. Bob then tried to attack the boy with a cleaver, but the boy jumped out of bed and was a human rather than a robot. "I'm gonna get ya, little boy," yelled Bile. The simulation boy then opened up the door to get his parents. "Mom! Dad! There's a monster in my room!" The boy then ran out of his room to wake up his parents. He pounded on his parents' bedroom door to alert them. The boy's mother opened the door with the father. What is it, sweetheart?" She said. "A monster is in the house," the boy said. "A monster?" the father asked. "Son, there's no such thing as..." Suddenly, Bile jumped out of the hallway with a chainsaw in his hands. "Let's put on a scary movie in real life," yelled Bile. "A monster!" the father and mother yelled in unison. "Run!" the boy screamed. The father ran around the house to avoid Mr. Bile and his chainsaw. Mr. Bile swung his chainsaw around in an attempt to kill the boy. He destructed many objects around the kitchen and the living room. The boy ran with his parents to go outside. Suddenly, Bile came crashing out of a window and lunged onto the boy. He screamed in sheer fear as the blue monster pounced straight onto him. The boy wrestled to escape Bile's grip, but he was too strong. Bile started up his chainsaw, put on a slasher smile directly at the child. "Please, don't hurt me," pleaded, begging the monster to not kill him. "Leave our son alone, you hideous demon!" "Oh!" The mother berated, running towards Bile with her husband. Bile then slashed his chainsaw on the parents' faces, killing them. "No! Run! Dad!" shrieked the boy. Bile pointed his chainsaw slowly towards the boy, causing him to scream loudly. The The boy's scream was very loud. I began to feel a burning sensation in my ears. I covered my ears tightly. My face started bleeding again. Blood started running on my ears once I uncovered them. At that moment, it showed the scene as shown in the final film. The simulator screaming straight in Biles' point of view. Biles screaming back at him before stepping on the ball, causing it to ricochet back at him, making him trip on a skateboard and land on a game of jacks, causing him to scream like a little girl and run around in circles like a lunatic. The simulation lights turned on. The scene played out as normal. The scene ended at the scene where Mrs. Flinton said, "Can anyone tell me Mr. Biles' big mistake?" Once the file ended, I wiped the blood out of my eardrums, rested outside for 5 minutes, and drank a glass of water to cure myself. I went to delete the file on my laptop since Pixar didn't want it to be screened in public. That night, I started to have nightmares. I had a nightmare of Thaddeus Bile killing me and another about the simulation boy screaming in my face. Every night I sleep in bed, I get that feeling somebody is watching me from my wardrobe.